Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everybody. So, welcome you all for this our Saturday session, Srimad Bhagavatam session. So, today we are going to discuss third canto, 15th chapter. We'll just offer Mangalacharan and then we'll to that. ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीन तारणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिनिति नामिने नमाचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरकामदाय। So is the screen visible? Can somebody confirm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. And am I audible properly?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So thank you everybody. Once again, welcome you all for this Saturday, our Saturday Srimad Bhagavatam session. It's very purifying to start our weekend with talking about the Lord, hearing about the Lord. Because whole 5 days we are busy in our work and totally in the consciousness of our material activities. Of course, we all are grastas, we need to earn, we need to work. So obviously, whatever we try our best over the weekdays, still it is a challenge that how to keep our consciousness very focused. But at least 2 days of our week, some sort of seva, some sort of hearing, some sort of, a little bit of austerity if we can do. Being a Krista, I know we all look forward to the weekend where we can get some relax. When we were not in Krishna consciousness, we used to get up Saturday, Sunday at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and simply just, wasting our time. But now we know that importance that, we have to spend time, at least because we can't do so much on the weekdays, at least on weekend, we should spend our time in Krishna consciousness in association of devotees. So this is one of the endeavor which we all do. We take a little bit of austerity, of hearing Katha in the morning. So we thank you all for coming forward to this. So Prabhupada has started this our movement. Of course, when this movement was started, then there was no concept of much of congregation devotees. Everybody used to stay either in temple or nearby areas. But now, as the movement is expanding, it is now very difficult for everybody to stay in temple. And being Krista, being the 90-95% of the is constant. It's most of the people working, earning their living. So it's more important that weekend, specifically Sunday feast or special festivals like yesterday, we all celebrated Gaura Purnima. We had Abhishekam Seva, all glories to all Matajis who did wonderful coordination of Abhishekam Seva under the leadership of Abra Mataji. So festivals, special days, and Sunday, if we are very nicely spending in Krishna consciousness, then we can, gear up for, it will give it regeneration for next whole week spiritually, so that we can get up early, do our chanting, do our sadhana. And along with that, we work, we interact with our work and all other people. But we can try to spend as much as possible in the Krishna conscious activities. My humble request to all the devotees that, if we are very serious about making progress in Krishna consciousness, then at least over the weekends, we should spend time in Krishna consciousness as much as possible. If we can do over the weekdays, going to temple, attending Mangala Aarti, Darshan Aarti, Sandhya Aarti, some programs, it's good, but maybe that luxury is not there for everyone. So few of us can do that, but not everyone. So at least over the weekend, if we can spend some time in, not some time, more time of our activities, then it would be very, very fulfilling for us. Okay, so let's get started. So today we are discussing third canto, 15th chapter. The title of the chapter is Description of the Kingdom of God. So we will do a quick recap of our previous session, which was taken by Apara Mataji. I remember Mataji was saying it's a very tough topic, but somehow it has come to her. And actually it was supposed to be by the sequence, but Mataji exchanged. So I escaped somehow the tough topic. So anybody would like to tell what was discussed in previous chapter? Anybody remembers? Nobody remembers? Everybody was sleeping? Picture reminds you anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
It
Krishna.
Diti's mistake, that was the, then this Hiranyakashipu was born, all this.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Anything else? Anybody remembers any other points which were Apara Mataji told? Okay. So my request is be awake in today's session. Maybe at the end I will ask few questions just to keep everybody attentive. So last chapter, as Archana Mataji told, was about union between Diti and Kashyap. So Maitreya Rishi tells Vidra, and specifically it's Vidra who inquires from Maitreya Muni about the Varha avatar of the Lord and Hiranyakashipu, how he was killed. And in that context, Maitreya Rishi starts telling him this story where Diti, who is the wife of Kashyap, she is daughter of Daksha, and she has many sisters. Aditi is another one from whom I don't know. I think it's 6 or 7 sisters were married to Kashyap Rishi, if I remember properly. So then Diti and Aditi, they are the main ones. So Aditi is the mother from whom all devatas are born, and Diti is the mother from whom all demons are born. So Diti approaches Kashyap Muni for union. She is agitated by lust. Kashyap Muni tries his best to convince her that this is not the right time, because that was the evening time, and evening time is generally not considered as good for union. So Kashyap Muni actually first he glorifies Mother Diti, and he tells that, you are such a faithful wife, and it's when a wife is very chaste and intelligent, the husband is delivered like that. He glorifies Diti, and then he tells this is not the right time, because this is a time when Shiva roams around along with his Bhutaganas. So any person doing mistake during this time, all these Bhutaganas, they enter into the womb through the union. And because Diti, in a one way, she's related to Lord Shiva, because his sister is married to Lord Shiva, Sati. She is also one of the Daksha's daughters. So just to clear her misconception, he says that don't think that Shiva will consider that you are relative. Still this union will not give anything, but Diti is totally overpowered by Kamadev, and she says that I'm not able to control my desires. So please help me. It is your duty as a husband to satisfy me. And at last, it's mentioned that they both unite, and then uh, then after that, Diti really repents, and she says that I've done a big mistake, and then she prays that let my children who are going to born out of this union are protected, and they are not affected by Lord Shiva's, basically Lord Shiva should not act upon them, and like that. So Kashyap Muni, he tells that, now anyway this act has happened, so now you will be, um, uh, you know, uh, pregnant with demons, two demons. They will create a big havoc in the creation. And Diti really becomes morose, and she really repents. And then Kashyap Muni, he glorifies, saying that, but don't worry, these two demons will be killed by none other than Lord Narayana himself. And your grandson, who is going to be Hiranyakashipu's son, Prahlad, will be one of the greatest devotees of the Lord. And like that. So after hearing that, Diti becomes little bit, peaceful. So now with this chapter, now this chapter starts here, okay, with this background. So now this is the outline of this chapter. Um, Devatas, they approach Brahma, they glorify him, and they ask the reason why there is darkness all around. And from 12 to 25 shlokas, it is Brahma starts telling the story of the birth, why Diti was conceived by demons. Who are these demons actually? So this story will continue in a couple of chapters. So they visit Sanat Kumaras, who are the four sons of Manasputras of Brahma. If you remember in the previous, when we were discussing the creation of universe at that point of time, the first uh, um, living entities which came out of Brahma was four sons, and their names Sanat, Sanak, Sanatan, and Sanandan, I believe. So they were the four sons, but Brahma wanted to them to create progeny, basically create more population, but they told that they are not interested in that. And Brahma becomes angry with that, and out of that anger, from the forehead of this thing, Rudra comes out, and like that. So these Sanat Kumaras, then they wanted the blessing from Brahma that they will never grow up. They will remain the a small child like that, even if their age is more. So they are all four. They look like all 4 5 years of children, although they are, and they don't. They are digambaras. They don't wear any clothes, and they go. This since they were very empowered souls. They had the power to visit anywhere wherever they wanted. So this from 12 to 25 shlokas, these Sanat Kumaras, they visit Vaikuntha, and there is a detailed description of Vaikuntha is given. That's why the chapter's name is the description of the Vaikuntha. So from 26 shloka to 36 Sanat Kumaras, that incident happens where Jaya and Vijay stops Kumaras, Sanat Kumaras in the curse. And at that, when all this is happening, Lord arrives there, and Sanat Kumaras, they get transformed. And at the end of towards the end of the chapter, they offer prayers to the Lord Narayana. So the chapter starts with Maitreya telling Vidura that after hearing that his sons will be the demons and they will create the great havoc all around, Diti didn't deliver the babies for 100 years because she was scared that these demons will create such a havoc. So, because of the demonic influence of the demons which were there in the womb of Mother Diti, uh, darkness prevailed all around. And with the darkness, the Devatas got really scared and they approached Brahma for understanding, what is the reason. And as a etiquette, these Devatas, they first glorify Lord Brahma. And there are a couple of shlokas, I'm not going in detail, where they glorify Lord Brahma, saying this, you are the source of all living entities. You have been blessed by the Lord Narayana to create this whole creation. So we are bowing at your in front of you. Please help us to understand what is the cause of this. So like that, they are approaching. They are not directly saying, oh, you are our master, now you tell us, how can we do this. So what do we learn from this? That being a devotee, we should be always under the authority, some devotee, some senior devotee. We should always share our challenges which we are facing. It doesn't necessarily need to be your Bhakti Riksha leader or your circle servant or somebody. You find out some senior devotee who has been practicing for some time. If you have access, if we have access to our spiritual master or some pure devotee like some sannyasi and all that, then we are really blessed. But most of us may not have that kind of fortune. So we can still find out somebody within our congregation or our spiritual guide from whom we take all the guidance, our Shiksha Guru or some other senior devotees. So with whom we can share. Actually, Rup Goswami in Nectar of Instruction, Updeshamrita, he tells six symptoms of loving relationship in devotees. So he says, Dadati pratigranati guyam akhyati prachati bhukte bhunjate okay, shat vidhi priti lakshanam. So he says that, dadati pratigranati. We give, gifts to devotees. We take gifts from devotees. Guhyam akhyati prachati. So we open up our hearts to some devotee. And when somebody open their heart to us, we should be able to keep that with us. Okay? So guhyam akhyati prachati. Bhungte bhojyate. So we should offer the prasadam to others. And when somebody is offering prasadam lovingly to us, we should accept that. And these are the six symptoms of loving relationship between the devotees. So what happens is, see, many of you may be in the very initial stage of your bhakti. So initially we all are very enthusiastic. We are all we see people around and we see everybody pure devotee because we have not yet affected by, Maya. So we come new and we see, oh, everybody is great devotee, and we get really impressed, and we start coming to temple, we start coming to Bhakti Riksha, then we interact, then we are encouraged to take different shiksha levels, then we get initiated, and then we think, oh, now we have become a great devotee. But the real struggle starts then when we really get initiated. There are a couple of years are over, and now we have to take it, because before that there is somebody to push from behind. Prabhu, Krishna, Sadhak, Sevak, Upasak, Prabhupada Ashraya, you take this, now you take shelter, now you take initiation. There will be somebody behind us all the time asking us why and any. But after some time, then okay, then we are on our own. At that point of time, sometimes we face that challenge that we feel that, oh, we are alone in bhakti, and but that kind of feeling is not good, because the bhakti is always makes progress when we are in the association of devotees. So we should always have some nice good friends in our spiritual life, and some devotees who are ready to who are guiding, and who with whom we can discuss our challenges in bhakti. So like that, it is, we can make progress in bhakti. Never try to be independent in bhakti. That's very dangerous situation actually. It looks very nice because materially we have been trained like that, that okay, I have to become boss, and then boss like that, and I should be very this thing, very controlling others, and like that. So same tendency we try to replicate in bhakti, but in bhakti it is very dangerous to become independent, because these devotees, they are actually around us to protect us. They are like a fence which helps us to protect from the attacks from the material attacks, because we are still living in material world. We will be affected by the things which are happening around all the time. We are not, if we are lucky that we are staying with the devotees, then it's fine. But how many of us have that luxury? So we are, and staying with, by the way, staying with devotees is also not easy, because everybody has different personality. We have different challenges. Our nature don't matter. Then after some time, it starts looking, oh, staying with devotees also is challenge. Sometimes the thought will, oh, I was better outside. At least I was getting some respect here. Nobody respects me, and I'm being treated like a doorstep, like that kind of thing. Then at that point of time, if we have some loving devotee with whom we can discuss our challenges, so never think I will take one bhakti vriksha, I will make one this thing. After that, nobody will ask me anything. I am just on my own. That's all. Me and my spiritual master. Anyway, we don't report anything to spiritual master. So okay, my spiritual master, me and Krishna. That's all. How I will take care of. It's not going to happen. It doesn't happen that way, and it's going to be very, very dangerous with that mindset. Even if we have to tolerate a lot with the devotees, always remain in the association of devotees, because Krishna is purifying us. We'll discuss that in further shlokas, how Krishna guides us. So have faith in the words of authority, have faith in the words of spiritual master, have faith in the words of, other, devotees who are there, around us, to guide us. Have faith in the senior devotees. So what happens is, with that attitude, it would be very easy to make progress in bhakti. Otherwise, sometimes it becomes very difficult after a certain stage. Okay. So then Brahma starts telling the reason of this darkness. He says that, in Diti's womb, there are two great demons who are going to create a great havoc. So after that, he starts telling the uh, story, because he has to now tell that who is there in Diti's womb. So what he does is he starts telling the story. So he tells that Sanat Kumaras, the four Sanat Kumaras, who are my sons, once they were traveling to Vaikuntha, and he tells that they cross the six doors of Vaikuntha. And he also gives the reason how come the Sanat Kumaras, Vaikuntha is not a place where everybody gets entry, right? So he uses the word that these pure souls. So Sanat Kumaras are pure souls, and they get the, opportunity, or rather, they had desire to see the Lord, and they entered and they crossed the six gates of, Vaikuntha, and they reach the seventh, gate. So from 14th shloka to 25th shlokas, there are characteristics of Vaikuntha Loka as Brahma explains. So he says that men in Vaikuntha Loka, they look similar to the Lord, and they are always engaged in his devotional service, and they have no desire for sense gratification. So in purport, Prabhupada writes so whatever I'm showing you on the screen, this is from the purport by Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada says that although every service has a particular result, the devotees never aspire for fulfillment of their own desire. Their desires are fulfilled by rendering transcendental loving service of the Lord. So that's a big lesson for all of us, that when we come to bhakti, and when we are offering services in the bhakti, so what happens is sometimes those bhaktis, those services also, we start doing with some desire of, Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, puja la pratishtha. So what happens is, slowly when we are in association, our material desires start reducing, and we start taking more and more association of devotees. Then we are in the devotees, then we do different sevas, and then we start getting the desire that, okay, whatever seva I am doing, that seva is the greatest seva. I've seen many times that devotees, sometimes they are, every devotee is different, right? So some devotees may have certain more taste in one aspect of bhakti. For example, some people may like kirtan more, and some people like japa more. Some people like to do more service oriented. They want to do more physical service. And some devotees who are very artistic, they like in designing different altars, and this thing. So each devotee has a different taste and orientation, and there's nothing wrong that particular aspect of the bhakti you can focus more than as compared to others, because suppose you like more kirtan, maybe you don't have the same inclination towards service, so you do service, other physical services also, but maybe you can work more upon your kirtan. Suppose you like more japa, so you'd like to do more japa, and so you do more japa, but other aspects of hearing, reading, and servicing and sevas, so all that you can also focus, because everything has its own. So we cannot say I like only japa, so I will do only japa, I will not do anything else. So this process has been created by our previous acharyas and pure devotees who have, over the experience they have learned. But some devotees are like that. They will, suppose, for example, they like japa more. So they will say, Prabhu, if you are not doing japa, forget. The sevas is waste. This is waste. Why you are coming to temple? Why you want to do? Sit at home, do japa. Japa is everything. Connecting to the holy name is the everything. Some people who will do, like seva more. Prabhu, without seva, what is there? What will happen to your ego? Nothing will happen. So every service has its own, you know, result. Every service is there to purify us. So when we do the seva, I still remember when this our temple inauguration was happened. So in 2012, that point of time, there was um, different sevas were allocated. So I was given the seva of taking care of VIPs. So VIPs in the sense, because the lot of temple presidents of other temples, South India, and some of the regional GBC members and all that, they were very great personalities. Some one or two Prabhupada disciples had also come. So we were being given the seva that, okay, we should take care of them. So did very nice. I really enjoyed that seva because that was not very pressing, and there were, but it was very purifying because you are serving the great like stalwarts of ISKCON. So along with now Subandhu Prabhu, at that time he was Sumit Prabhu. So we and there were other devotees. We served it nicely, and we relished the seva very much. Then 2013 came when Gandharvika Girdhari, same Akshay Tritiya time and Narasimha Chaturdashi time, then Gandharvika Girdhari installation was supposed to happen. So that time also I had made up my mind that, okay, I will do this VIP seva because that is very purifying seva. It's not very pressure also and like that. So overall coordinator was, I think, Harikshetra Prabhu. So and then I told Prabhu that, Prabhu, that seva was very good. I would like to do that same seva. He told, Prabhu, that seva I have allocated to somebody else. So now this time, can you please take care of public prasadam? And public prasadam, is like 2,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 people were supposed to come, for 2, 3 days festival. And I told, how will we manage that seva? It is, and I told, no, 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 Prabhu. And I, those who know me know that I'm not that personality of not very great in those kind of sevas. So I told Prabhu, it is, Prabhu said, no, no, don't worry. This devotee is there, that devotee is there. So then, with very half-hearted, I took up that seva, and and there were many, many challenging times because there was one time where that queue is going for like half a kilometer, and we were not able to take care of serving the devotees, and people are becoming impatient, and so very, very challenging situations. But that was the time there was a great learning because I worked with like some other senior devotees and how they handled the situation, how calmly, in spite of so pressing times, they did. And at the end of the festival, I felt so satisfying that although I struggled, although I didn't like it, but at the end, I learned it that what a mood of a devotee should be, in when we are serving. So we should not look all the time VIP sevas like great, where there is, always we are in limelight and this thing. I don't know. Yesterday was Gaura Purnima. I have to keep a track of time also. So in Gaura, there is Mahaprakash Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I will not go into the detail of that seva, maybe that pastime of the Lord. It was very, very detailed and very, very, uh, beautiful pastime of the Lord, Gauranga. But in that seva, in short, the pastime is that Lord Chaitanya, who never revealed himself as Supreme Lord, in that Leela, he goes and sits on the altar of Lord Narayana, and he, one by one, he calls all the devotees and he gives darshan according to what mood they have, and he gives them blessings. So this is in detail, he one by one, different devotees. But first and foremost, whom he gives his mercy. Anybody will tell whom he gave his mercy first? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mahaprakash Leela, whom he gave the mercy first. First devotee whom he gave mercy. Anybody knows that?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, when Abhishekam started, then Nityananda Prabhu was first offering, this Abhishekam Jal to Lord Chaitanya.
Okay.
And then Kola Sridhar.
Kolavacha Sridhar. Before Kolavacha Sridhar, he gave mercy to one other devotee. Anybody else remembers? In this thing, as Mataji told, that they were doing Abhishekam, Lord Nityananda came and they started.
Old Mataji who was getting Dukhi Mataji.
Yes. This Mataji, when they were offering Abhisheka to the Lord, Nityananda and Advaita Acharya, they are offering water and water of pouring on the Lord. So one Mataji, her name was Dukhi. She was bringing water from Ganga because it was on the Shiva Sangam, it is just on the banks of Ganga. She was going on the other side, bringing the Ganga water, and she is giving to all these stalwarts or these associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this lady is giving sush. Lord, although he is surrounded by great devotees of the Lord, they are serving him. First glance of the Lord went on Dukhi, and he asked Srivas Pandit that who is that lady who is this thing. So Srivas Pandit, I don't know, it was Srivas Pandit or Advaita Acharya. He told she is one maid in this house, and her name is Dukhi. She was given a name Dukhi because she, like in earlier time, no, when the kids are getting born and they are dying. So at last they told, okay, we'll give her some bad name so that all this bad omen will stop, something like that. So then her name was Dukhi. Then Lord Chaitanya told, anybody who is serving me, who is serving my devotees, how can he be Dukhi? She's no Dukhi anymore. Her name is Sukhi from today. So Lord changed the name, and her name became Sukhi, and everybody loudly said, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So from this pastime, we can learn that, even if you are in background, you are doing something seva which is not giving you limelight. Nobody is coming and appreciating you. Prabhu, you are doing, or Mataji, you are doing so much great seva. Because sometimes, after some time, no, nobody will appreciate us. It's something every day, every week you are coming and doing seva. What's so great about it, right? So initially, what happens is devotees glorify. So we become so much used to it. Then after some time, when nobody is glorifying us, no, we says, "What? Yeah, so thankless people. Earlier they were selfish people. Earlier they used to tell me, you come and do the seva, and I used to do. And that time they were very this thing. Now see, they are thankless. I will not stay in this group. Everybody is very this thing selfish here. Like that kind of feeling we starts getting." But Lord is giving an example here that he first looked at a lady who is in background somewhere far. She is not even at front. He first gave his mercy to the person in the this thing. So a service is done for the pleasure of the Lord. It is not done for my own glorification or my this thing. So when we will have that mood in service, then always we will remain blissful in service, and we will be always get the mercy of the Lord and mercy of the devotees. So we should not look for uh, admiration all the time. We should go with the mood. Today I'm going for the service, and I am going to do its service for the pleasure of the Lord and for the pleasure of his devotees, and may the Lord be pleased with my service, and I get purified more. With that mood, if we will go, then we will be able to sustain our bhakti in a long run. Okay. So in the then the description of Vaikuntha planets continues. In Vaikuntha planet, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the origin person and who can be understood through Vedic literature, he is full of uncontaminated mode of goodness with no place for passion or ignorance. He contributes religious progress. Important statement here to read is he contributes religious progress for the devotee. And Prabhupada is writing in purport that Lord personally ensures that the progressive march of the Vaishnava towards the kingdom of God, towards the Vaikuntha, Lord personally helps the devotees. So it is not that, as all the, so this is, although it is meant for Vaikuntha Vasis, but same way for the devotees in this material world also, Krishna says very clear, Ye athamam prapadyante tam sadaiv bhajamyam. Whenever we surrender more and more and more, then what happens is Lord personally takes care of our spiritual life. He will ensure that Krishna says, No dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mamupi antite. I will give you the intelligence with which you will come to me. Krishna will ensure that we are, making progress in Krishna consciousness, and ultimately at the end of life we are able to go back to Godhead. So then there is in detail Vaikuntha Loka description is given. So the Vaikuntha, there are forests where there are desire trees who give you whatever you want, and inhabitants of Vaikuntha, they fly in airplanes accompanied by their wives and consorts, and they are eternally singing the character and activities of the Lord. So birds, they are making the sound to glorify the Lord, but they only stop when they hear the humming of the king bees, who is also glorifying the Lord. So this is also a lesson that we should not. Okay, my glorification of the Lord is the greatest, and others. So even the birds are there when their bees are singing the Lord's glorifying the Lord. They are stopping their this thing and they are hearing them. Then there are beautiful flowers, but those flowers, they know that ultimately Tulsi is the greatest and very dear to the Lord. So beautiful flowers are, see, in spiritual world, everything is conscious. They are Chaitanya in that. They are spiritual. They are not like, of course, flowers and all that, but they are not like jada. There is nothing jada there, nothing material there. Everything is spiritual. So then in Vaikuntha, the plains are also they are made up of gold and emeralds. And, they are, when the people are traveling in those plains made up of gold and rubies and emeralds and all that, they are not distracted. They are not distracted even when they are traveling with their beautiful wives and all that. They are not, the passion is not coming in them. Women are as beautiful as Lakshmi. They sweep the wall to receive Lord's grace. So even if the women who are as beautiful as Mother Lakshmi, but what they do seva of sweeping or cleaning the wall so that they can get the glance of the Lord. And Mother Lakshmi worship the Lord in their own garden with tulsi leaf. And they, Lord Narayana and Lakshmi, they see both of them, they see their reflection in the water. So there, everybody is in mood of service and everybody is want to please the Lord. They don't have any mood to, their own sense gratification. Okay, so that is the difference between, the service which they do and service what we do. Our mood is okay. I've done this. I have some devotees who do nice kirtan, or so do stitching of dresses for the Lord, and garland making. So we may think, oh, I have offered this to Lord. Now everybody should come and say that, oh, you have done so nice garland you have made for the Lord. you know so, oh, other, why nobody is asking that, I have made garland for the Lord, why nobody is asking that who made this garland, right? That's what is our mood, but that's not the this thing. So in 23, 24, and 25 shlokas, Lord Brahma is telling who can enter into Vaikuntha and who cannot enter into Vaikuntha. So he says it is very much regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the description of Vaikuntha planet but engage in the topics which are unworthy to hear and which bewilders one's intelligence. Those who give up the topics of Vaikuntha and take the talk of material world are thrown into the darkest region of ignorance. So see nowadays these youngsters, they are very well keen to go to US, Canada, Australia. So if you talk to those kids who are very focused that they want to go, so what they always tell you in US, this is the thing. Their roads are very good, life is very great there, pollution is not there. This is not why they are they want to keep reading. Okay, how to stay there? What is the life there? Because their goal is that. For us devotees, what is the goal? Our goal is go back to Vaikuntha, go back to Goloka, Vrindavan. So for that, we need to continuously read and hear the description of Vaikuntha Loka so that our desire remains. So that is Lord Brahma is saying here is that, if we continue, Prabhupada gives that example, right? That, frog keeps doing tar, 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 and he's thinking, I'm making a great sound, and ultimately the snake will come and eat it. So same way, if we keep talking material things, it's not going to help us to go back to, because then we will be always there, as Brahma is saying, the darkest region of ignorance will remain. And then comes a striking point, and Brahma is glorifying human life. He is the greatest devata, he is the head of all the devatas, and they have got, all these devatas have got luxurious life available to them in Swargloka. And just see what Brahma is saying. Brahma is saying, my dear demigods, the human form of life is such important that we also desire to have such life. For in the human form of life, one can attain perfect religious truth and knowledge. If one is in this human form of life, does not understand the supreme personality of God and his abode, it is to be understood that he is very much affected by the influence of external nature. See, Brahma is glorifying, in Bhagavatam, time and again, this, glorification of human form of life is given. So we all are fortunate that we have this human form of life, that too in Bharat Bhumi, because here we have the opportunity to go to different dhams to know about the Lord, and there are so many people to give us this thing. What if we are born in Africa? Although this is a human form of life, but what is the use of that form of life? Because we will not be able to hear about Lord Narayana, we are not able to hear about the glories of the devotees of the Lord. So Bharat Bhumile Janm ho yaar, Janm Sartak Kari Karo Paropkar. So we should Janm Sartak Kari. We have to make this life meaningful by doing devotional service and then giving this thing to others. We can give this bhakti to others, because in this material world, everybody is rotting, suffering. Whatever we have got, we can give it to others also. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction is there. Okay. So yes, let's feel that, we are so fortunate. We have this human form of life. Let's utilize it properly. And who can enter Vaikuntha Loka? Then Brahma is saying, persons whose bodily features change in ecstasy and who breathe heavily and perspire. Why they perspire? Due to hearing of the glories of the Lord, are promoted to kingdom of God. Even though they do not care for meditation and other austerities, the kingdom of the God is above material universes and it is desired by, he's telling that it is desired by me and all the demigods. Everybody is desiring Vaikuntha Loka. So who can get Vaikuntha Loka? Who has the taste in the hearing of the glories of the Lord? That person will get the entry into Vaikuntha Loka. This is given by Brahma, by the way, okay? It is not an instruction by anything else. Srila Prabhupada, let me see the time. Okay, 7 o'clock. Prabhupada has written a long purport on this, and he has given the what are the qualities, which a devotee should have. And let me read some of them for you. Okay, let me see. So this Prabhupada is first talking about the 26 qualities of a devotee, which is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he says, let me read few of them. He is very kind. He doesn't quarrel with anyone. He accepts Krishna consciousness as the highest goal of life. He is equal to everyone. No one can find fault in his character. He is magnanimous, mild, always clean internally and externally. He does not profess to possess anything in the material world. He is benefactor of all living entities. He is peaceful and his soul completely surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desire to fulfill. He is meek, humble, always steady, conquered the sensual activities. He does not eat more than required to maintain the body and soul. He is never mad after material identity. He is respectful to everyone. He does not demand respect for himself. He is grave, he is compassionate, he is friendly, he is poetic, expert of all the activities. He is silent in nonsense. Okay. Then he talks about the qualities which are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So he says the saintly people, they are, I'm just reading few of them. They are very tolerant. They are kind to all living entities. They are not partial. They are kind to, both the living beings and animals, like that. And then if I read it, will the whole class can go. Then he talks about 10 offenses to holy name. And you all know that first offense is, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives. So this thing in detail, Srila Prabhupada is, Rigesh Prabhu has raised the hand. Prabhu, you want to say anything or? Okay, hopefully it is just my. So Prabhupada has spent a lot of time here in giving the qualities of devotees who can get the entry into. So Brahma is just told at high level who has taste in glory, hearing the glory of the Lord. But Prabhupada in detail he has mentioned that these are the qualities which can get us entry into the Goloka Vrindavan. There is another shloka in 4th Canto, 12th chapter, 37 shloka, which says person who are peaceful, equiposed, cleansed and purified, and who knows the art of pleasing other living entities, keep friendly only with devotees of the Lord. They alone can easily achieve the perfection of going back home, back to Godhead. So devotees, sometimes we get carried away by doing various services. In the sense, we are being told that services are a way to purify. Like preaching, we think, okay, I'm doing preaching, I'm taking Bhakti Vriksha, I've made so many devotees, so I'm now I've achieved the perfection. Now nobody is going to, can stop my entry into Golok Vrindavan. But devotees, it is the qualities which is being given here, which are going to get us entry into Golok Vrindavan. Of course, the goal. So one should always remember what is the goal of doing services. When we do the goal, we are doing services. Our goal is to purify ourselves of all this false ego, kam, krodh, logh, moh, mad, matsarya. That is the goal of doing service, not to just okay. okay, 100 people say that, Prabhu, you are very great in so and so activity. We have to always remember that, I'm doing this to please Krishna and purify myself. So that introspection we should keep doing on ourselves, that am I able to conquer all these anarthas which I have within myself? If not, then we should work upon that and don't just think, okay, oh, I'm 15 years, 20 years in bhakti. Now, because so many years I have spent, I have become eligible for entry into Golok. It's not going to happen. We have seen in Bharat Maharaj's story, even reaching at Bhava stage, he had fallen down. Who are we? So we have to just constantly work upon our purification. Okay. So then story continues from 26 to 36 slokas. By the strength of Yoga Maya Sanat Kumaras, they reach Vaikuntha, which is, of course, we have discussed all this. Then, after crossing over 6 gates, without being much astonished, the Kumaras reached the 7th gate. And there they saw 2 doorkeepers who were of the same age and well decorated like the Lord. But from their arched eyebrows and discontented nostrils and reddish eyes, they appeared somehow agitated. So, one thing to learn here is that when we are devotees, our our look should be pleasing. Here, although they are serving the Lord directly in Vaikuntha Loka, but the description which is there, their eyebrows are raised and their nostrils are, swollen with as if like, and their eyes are reddish. So sometimes, when we are doing seva, then we get so much carried away. Prabhu, la, la. We start shouting on others, and something goes wrong, then we start blaming, why this, why that, you didn't do this. Of course, I know in service time, sometimes the pressure is there, and it's sometimes we lose our patience and all that. But we should, again, the point which we are trying to bring here is, while doing service, we have to remain calm and composed as much as possible. When I'm saying this, I know I myself I'm not able to follow that, and I got agitated many times during the pressing timings in temple. Like yesterday, we were doing Abhishek. I'm not sure if something would have at last moment something is there. Then Prabhu, everybody was Prabhu, give this, Mataji, give this. Then why you didn't arrange this? I told you to do this. So all that, maybe if it is happening that point of time momentarily, later we should introspect and we should go to devotees and tell them, apologize from that. That even try to control that. If not happening, at least understand that we have done something wrong and go to devotees and later at least tell them that I've done this wrong, because pressing situations are the one where our real devotion will be tested. Un- Unfortunately word I'm using, but that's the time where our real devotion is tested. So if that point of time we are not able to keep calm and equiposed, then we have to work upon ourselves. Okay. So Kumaras, they had no idea about what is ours and theirs. They entered the 7th gate. As they entered in 6th gate, they thought 7th gate also is allowed. But here the Kumaras, they stopped them. And one word which is used in the shloka is Bhagavad Pratikul Shilo. Means Jaya and Vijaya, they blocked Sanat Kumaras, and their behavior was how? Bhagavat Pratikul Shilam. Shilam is behavior. It was what? Bhagavat Pratikul. So it was something which is not pleasing to the Lord. So our behavior, our conduct is being observed by the Lord Himself. Lord does not like anything which is displeasing, because we'll see how Lord Himself coming is running to control the situation. So it is Bhagavat Pratikul Sheel. We should not have Bhagavat Pratikul behavior. We should not have. We should have Bhagavat Anukul behavior. So we know that shloka, no? Anukulena Krishnanu Sheelanam Bhakti Ruchyate. So whatever is, this is what's the first one. Sarva Pradir Vinirmukta Tat Paritvena Nirmala Rishi. No, this is not that. I'm not able to recall the first one, which says, Anukulena Krishnanu Sheelanam Bhakti Ruchyate. The bhakti is what is anukul to Krishna. It's not pratikul. Even Kansa is remembering, even Hiranyakashipu is remembering, Krishna. But is that bhakti? No, that's not bhakti. It is It is not anukul to Krishna. It is pratikul. So our behavior should be always pleasing, always, calm and possible as much as possible. Then Kumaras, they got angry. Now they are also showing the behavior which is not. So they got turned red with the anger. The word used for anger is Kam Anujena, means younger brother of Kam is anger. And because their desire to see the Lord was stopped. So then they started shouting at these Jaya Vijay. They are saying, "You are in the highest service of the Lord, and you are displaying Visham Sobhava again. Bhagavad Pratikul Shila, here it is Visham Sobhava. You are showing, although you are serving the Lord, but your behavior is like this. You know, very often when we go out and we are putting tilak, we are wearing dhoti, and then we go out and in public, then what public will say? What, you are devotee and you are behaving like this? So that this the qualities which we had spoken earlier, these qualities should get totally imbibed within ourselves. It should not be that in one situation I'm like that, in one. So then what will happen is whenever the pratikul situation will come, then our real colors will come out. So it is something like I have heard once, one senior devotee told that whatever is there inside will only come out. If it's calm, although we may be pretending to be very sweet and very this thing, but from inside, if you squeeze an orange, you will get an orange. If you squeeze a mango, you will get mango. So when this pressing situation comes, we are being squeezed either in seva or wherever. So whatever is coming out, that is our reality, actually speaking. So here also, Sanat Kumar is saying you must be imposters because you are suspecting us. In Vaikuntha Loka, where is there is a possibility of anybody enemy coming here? Why are you stopping us like that? They are questioning Sanat Kumaras, and then they curse them that since you both have dualities of material world, although you are in Vaikuntha Loka, but you have dualities of you better go to other material world where these dualities are lust, anger, greed is there. You go there. And Purport Prabhupada writes that Sanat Kumaras also did a Vaishnava Aparadh without realizing. So sometimes when some devotees, while during seva and all that, if somebody is taking our coupons, for example, in this service when we go for prasadam, at that point of time he asks for a coupon, then we get, Prabhu, you don't know me. I came at 8 o'clock already. You only didn't give all this. We start shouting with them. We start fighting with them. I'm just giving an example. But just understand, they are doing their seva. So maybe some fault by them or by us. So in those pressing situations, let's not just get engaged in any argument. Just move away from there. It's okay because let's not do the Vaishnava Aparadh. And Prabhupada is saying that in the purport I'm displaying on the screen. So there Prabhupada say that we should not get angry in the absence of opportunity of sense gratification, because when we do something we are expecting from that seva, and when that doesn't happen, we become angry. So we should remain calm and composed even in the pressing situation. So when these Jai Vijay, they understood that severity of the situation, they thought that they fell at the feet of Sanat Kumara, and what, they didn't ask him to negate the whatever curse they have given. So they're saying, let the punishment whichever you have given, let it be upon us, but we are asking one blessing, that you please give us the this blessing, that we should not forget the Lord even when we are in the material world. So this is how the devotees are. They don't. In Chitraketu's story also, we know that when Chitraketu was cursed by Mother Parvati, the Chitraketu didn't say that oh Mother Parvati, why did you curse me? He said that, okay, Mother, you have given me this thing, I take these blessings, and that just he takes that. So devotees are not, they are not, they stay wherever they stay, they are always, they want the association of devotees, and they always want to serve the Lord. So by these genuine repentance of Jai Vijay, Kumaras also received Prabhupada is writing that Kumaras also received the mercy of the devotee, and they also repented the curse. So they also started regretting that they act in a non-devotee way, because they were not real pure devotees, they were Brahmavadis. So they also repented. So both of them are now repenting. Jai Vijay is also repenting, and Sanat Kumaras are also repenting. Seeing that the situation, what humility which aroused, the shloka says that when the Sanat Kumaras as well as Jai Vijay, they are repenting, then out of that, when that humility arrived, then immediately Lord came there and he appeared there. And as Bhakti protect them. And purport Prabhupada is writing that Krishna is giving the guarantee, Name Bhakti Apnayashati, my devotees never perish. Although Jai Vijaya, who has tried to stop Sanat Kumaras, and maybe a little bit of mistake they did, but Lord is personally came there and he tried to take control of the situation. So Sanat Kumaras, they were Brahmavadis, they have seen the Lord only within their heart. As soon as they saw Lord along with Mother Lakshmi, other associate and paraphernalia, they really, their heart melted. And, the Sanat Kumaras, because Prabhupada writes in purport that Lord wanted to give Sanat Kumaras who are Gyanis, he wanted to give the experience of his Swarupa. And Kumaras just got mesmerized with the beauty of the Lord. So then next, these certain shlokas, there is the beauty of the Lord is explained in detail for three shlokas at least. So Lord Force face is all auspicious, pleasing, most desirable, blessing everyone. His glance is touching the core of the hearts of everyone. His complexion is blackish, broad chest, residence of Lakshmi. His waist is tied with yellow cloth with shining border. His neck is surrounded by the garlands, which is, bees are around that. He has charming necklace. He has kaustubh jewel. His hands, one hand he's rested on Garuna, and other with hand he's twirling the lotus. His cheeks are enhanced by the beauties of Makara earrings, which are shining. His nose is very prominent and is headed, is decorated by the crown, which is gem studded. So after seeing all this, the beauty of this thing, Sanat Kumara transformation happened. So then there is a very famous shloka which came there that when the breeze carrying the aroma of tulasi leaves from the lotus feet of Lord, personality of Godhead, entered the nostrils of those sages, they experienced the change both in their mind and body, and even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. So till now they were Brahmavadis, impersonal, they were impersonalist. But as soon as they smell the aroma of tulsi, which is at the lotus feet of the Lord, immediately the heart transformation happened, and they just were admiring the beauty of the Lord. So then the beauty of the Lord is further explained. The Lord beautiful face appeared to them like a blue lotus. Lord's smile is like blossoming jasmine flower. After seeing the face of the Lord, the sages were fully satisfied, and they wanted to see him further. They looked at the nails of his lotus feet, which resembled rubies. And thus they viewed the Lord's transcendental body again and again, and they finally achieved the meditation of the Lord's personal feature. So after seeing, the shloka says, Nayana Abhirama. So whatever that pleasing to the eyes form of the Lord they saw, they started meditating upon the form of the Lord. And then Prabhupada in the purport, he quotes this famous shloka from 6th canto, Yoginamapi sarvesham mad gadantaratmana Shraddhavan bhajte umam same yuktatmano mataha. Of all the yogis who is always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service is most intimately united with me in yoga and is highest. The greatest yogi is who is always meditating on the form of the Lord. So in purport, Prabhupada is making very nice point that he says that yoga means controlling the senses, but bhakti, we don't work on controlling the senses because controlling the senses is very difficult. What we do is we engage our senses in the service of the Lord. And when we engage our service in our senses in the service of the Lord, automatically our senses get controlled. We don't have to exclusively put the effort. We all can just look back how in our life we have so many sense gratification attachments were there. But slowly, when we are engaging ourselves in the bhakti of the Lord, we are able to overcome that, which for that yogis do Ashtanga yoga to overcome those, you know. So then at last, in last 4 shlokas, Kumaras offer beautiful prayers to Lord Narayana. So they says that you are not manifested to sinfuls, but by your appearance now, we realize the statements heard from our father Brahma about your confidential nature. So they start meditating on what their father Brahma had told them about the beauty of the Lord. And Prabhupada writes in this thing that that's why it is very important that we hear from the devotees, other devotees, because we may not be self-realized at the moment. So we may think, हाँ वैकुंठा is there. अरे ऐसे होता है क्या वहाँ? Lord Narayan is really so beautiful. हाँ okay, it all is written in the books. ठीक है, I am following practice bhakti, so let me also believe this. No, when a self-realized soul, that's why whenever there is any sannyasi or senior devotees and all that, when they say, for example, some time back there was Radheshyam Prabhu in the Radheshyam Prabhu gave very simple class, actually speaking, but whatever he spoke, it just entered into, after that class everybody was talking, Prabhu, today's class was so nice, so nice. Actually he didn't speak anything great, he spoke whatever we are already hearing every day and night, but since it is coming from the pure devotee's mouth, you know, then it is so, we should not leave any opportunity which is coming to us to take association or doing hearing Krishna Katha from the pure devotees. Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevya updeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. To tattvadarshi, you know, a person who has the Lord, who has connection to the Lord, that person only can give us Lord, no? You know, it is not possible for anybody else to give, no? So only those people, you know. So, and then this very important statement they make, Kumaras, they say that your transcendental form can be understood by only by your mercy and unflinching devotional service, drada bhakti yoge. So by your drada bhakti and by the great sages who are not interested in. So 3 ways to get understand Lord is what? We should have the mercy. So we all are lucky. We all have mercy. We hear this in our Damodar time also. We always discuss that mercy and endeavor. So endeavor part is given is what? Our unflinching devotional service. We should do bhakti more and more. We should keep increasing. And then the third aspect which is there, by the great sages who are not interested in material life. So when the great sages, the great personalities who have direct connection with Krishna, if they give us Krishna, then only we can get Krishna. Otherwise, it's not possible. Only we can do our duty as an endeavor. But will that this thing is there? So only by the mercy of the Lord we will be able to. So basically, you know, the Lord is again, you know, these Sarat Kumaras, they are, you know, at last in these prayers, they are just offering to develop. I'm not in the interest of time, I'm quickly going through that. They say that, you know, please, some rasagya in previous this thing, the rasagya means who are the expert knowers of the rasa. So those people who are always immersed in the taste of Hari Katha, they do not consider liberation as your mercy. So the only devotee's desire is to just, they pray to the Lord that always I remain in the association of the Lord and always I keep offering devotional service to you. And, you know, at last they say that, you know, we are offering our respectful prayers to you and just give us this blessing that, you know, wherever we are always, you know, glorifying you. We are always engaged in the service of your lordships. So with that, you know, they finish their prayers and chapter ends with that. And then at last, you know, this story will continue when we will see that, you know, further how Hiranyakashipu takes birth. And this is like that. So this chapter in it's 727. Okay. So maybe I'll close this here. And, you know, anybody has any question or comments quickly you want to give, you can give.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Ketan.
Yes, Prabhu. You go ahead, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, please continue. I'll ask later.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. So the question is, are Jaya Vijaya, are they not aware of four Kumaras, Prabhu? I mean, I because I was under assumption that by then they would have known about the four Kumaras. So were they not aware, or was there something that was going on at that point of time that Lord instructed them not to let anyone inside or anything like that? I mean, what was the situation that was going on that
Here in
that
it
Jaya
is
Vijaya behaved such a way?
okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for your question. So, this Jai Vijaya, although in Bhagavatam this part is not given, in other scriptures the same story is given that they were instructed by Mother Lakshmi to not, because Lord is taking rest, you should not, disturb. So
I
they were
see.
they were aware. It's not that somebody who is in Vaikuntha Loka, it is not possible for them to not know this that these are Sant Kumaras or not. But they were so much what to say engrossed in their seva that they forget that aspect. And anything Vaikuntha Loka, we can assume it doesn't happen without the desire of the Lord. So it is all Lord's Leela, because obviously
Mhm.
God has to then come back to this material, come in the material world to do his Leela. So for
Yes.
that, create the context. So my understanding is it's not that the son of this Jai Vijay were not aware. It's just I think Leela of the Lord. He created the situation so that Jai Vijay get cursed and they go, and in 3 lives they take different births and fight with the
Yeah.
Lord, and like that, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Makes sense. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Vrijeshwari Vinita Mataji, you have raised hand. Any question is there, Prabhu Mataji, or?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, question is not there, but wonderful class Prabhuji. It gave a lot of practical insights, and majorly for learning was like which I took, like how we have to be with the devotees, how we have to take care of services. So this class gave a lot of insights. Really nice, Prabhuji, your realizations, your experiences during this, the journey of ISKCON, what all you have shared, how you have taken up the challenges, services. It was very nice, like, from the chapter, how you have taken all the practical things and gave us the insights, how to implement all those things in our day-to-day life. That is the biggest learning, like, I took it. Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So much. The word was there, rasagya, no? So devotees have the rasa. So anything you speak, they will relish that. I'm not sure it was that much this thing, but since you have taste in Hari Katha, you were able to hear that. Although I don't think I'm qualified to speak on that matters, but yes, I got whatever experience I have shared with this. And ultimately, as you rightly said, Mataji, the more aspect of bhakti. See, we all learn philosophy. Somehow we'll hear classes, we'll learn philosophy. All that is fine. But I always feel that we all lack practical day-to-day implementation of bhakti, how to do in our lives. There is something called prachar, where in ISKCON there is a lot of emphasis on prachar, but there is something called achar. So with that practical, how we
Yes, Prabhuji.
conduct
Acharan.
achar.
Achar, and we keep learning from you that how the achar should be. Like, no, you are a role model, Prabhuji, for all of us. Like, how you, in the tough, challenging situations, how you manage it. And we never see, like, no, your temper is loose or you are going in some different way. Even if some strict instruction is coming, that also is coming in a very humble way. So really, like, no, we have learned a lot of things from so many years from you, and the way this whole class you have given, it is really like, no, very nice to hear this. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Path, all goes to Guru Maharaj. Anybody else wants to ask any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danda Pranam.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much. The most nectarian class after God Purnima. So you are continuously reminding me about all my anarthas. So beautifully done, Prabhuji. I don't know what to say. You're saying about importance of listening to pure devotees. So you really proved it so beautifully. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have some questions similar to Vinod Prabhu's Ji's question. One is, of course, even in Vaikuntha, the mood of anger comes in, whether it is Jay Vijaya or the Sanat Kumaras. But such pastimes you never hear in Goloka probably, or I have never known. So is it an indication that unless and until we reach Goloka, there are possibilities that we can get deviated? That was one question. The other question is a very silly question, but we hear about many other entities even in Vaikuntha, other than the 400 form or the similar to human forms. So generally, my foolish understanding is that humans are only eligible to go back to Godhead in a way. Many indications are there. So how many other forms similar to animals or bees, birds, etc. are available there, or is it only a pastime? They are just taking different roles for the time being. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So your first question was that how come in Vaikuntha Lokas people have this thing. So to be honest, I don't know this aspect, because we see there are so many pastimes happening in Vaikuntha where they get the anger comes and like that. So ideally speaking, the name is Vaikuntha. So we should not have any of the anarthas within ourselves before even entering. As this chapter was saying that we before entering itself we have to purify. And we read in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam that unless and until we purify ourselves, there is no way we can enter into Goloka Vrindavan. It's not possible. So, how again, these great devotees, they develop these kind of this thing is, I only thing which I may be wrong, maybe we should check with some other senior devotees as well. I think it must be that Lord wants these great devotees or his associates to participate in the Leelas, which is going to come to this material world and perform, so that fallen souls like us get attraction or some desire to go. So if this chapter is not there, Vaikuntha Loka is not explained in detail, we all will not have any desire to go to Vaikuntha Loka. Or if we don't hear about great devotees, we have no standard that what as a devotee what should be, how we should behave and all those kind of things. So this is all, I think it's the arrangement of the Lord by which we all can understand that these things which we have to work upon even in the material world, forget about in if we go to Vaikuntha Loka, we'll not get entry only there. So that's my understanding on this. And what is the second question, Prabhu?
It's about the other entities in Vaikuntha, other than
So because
human forms.
word is variegatedness. Na? In material world also there is so much variety, so much variegatedness is there, right? So a spiritual world also there is so much variegatedness is required. It cannot be, see, otherwise it will become like Brahman realization, right? Difference between Brahman realization and Bhagwan realization is that there is a relationship between the Lord, and there are loving exchanges between the Lord, personal form, and his devotees. So if it is everything is no form and nothing is there, then it is like Brahman. Brahman realization is that only, because there is nothing. You just go and it's like a void. You be there for some time. You immerse yourself into the Brahma Jyoti. And after some time, then Jiva will look for that, okay, what is there to do? But Vaikuntha Loka is, it is like, there is so much activities are there. So, and for that, a living entity has to, and there, by the way, it doesn't mean that somebody is cow over there and somebody is parrot over there and somebody is tree over there. There is a difference. They all have loving exchanges with the Lord. That's why it was mentioned, no, that everything, when Vaikuntha details are given, that forest, desire tree, they all are spiritual. They personally interact with the Lord. They personally serve the Lord through their fruits, through their, flowers and, animals they personally serve. So there, even if the living entity is in, because we are looking from the material aspect. Oh, here dog means he cannot explain himself. He cannot talk. The cow cannot express. Parrot cannot. But that's not the case in Vaikuntha Loka. Vaikuntha Loka, we heard, no, the birds are singing the glories of the Lord. So if they're singing the glories of the Lord, that means it is, audible to the Lord. Lord is hearing, and other living entities are also hearing. It's not that the, Vaikuntha Vasis, they will not be able to hear what a bird is singing. since bird is doing Hari Katha, so those Vaikuntavasis, they are able to hear this thing. So there the variegated, not like our material words, variegatedness. It is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Everybody can understand each other. So there is no difference in the different forms there. So everything is connected to the Lord. Everybody is serving the Lord. That's how it is.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So that means everybody is in full consciousness.
Everybody is in full consciousness. Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Thank
So
you for the
questions, but I think 7:38. So those who are getting late, please feel free to drop. Maybe I'll take the questions from Nitai Priya Mataji, then maybe Shri Rekha Mataji after that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद। मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ, थोड़ी हल्की आ रही पर आ रही है।
सभी लोगों को सादर प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। एज यूजुअल प्रभु, आपकी क्लास सुन के हमें बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है। आपका एसोसिएशन मिलता है थ्रू क्लासेस। और कल तो थोड़ा सा जल्दी में आ गई थी सेवा के बाद, तो आपसे उतनी बात भी नहीं हो पाई मेरी। तो मेरा क्वेश्चन, बहुत ही अच्छी क्लास थी। एक पर्टिकुलर एक पॉइंट पे जो है मेरा क्वेश्चन है, जैसे आपने बोला था ददाति प्रति घनाति गुह्यम आख्याति। तो ये गुह्यम आख्याति जो है प्रभु, हमें कहीं ना कहीं मुझे पर्सनल भी लगता है, और मैंने ऐसा फील किया कि मैं उसमें थोड़ी सी बहुत खराब भी हूँ, कि कभी कभी हम पर्सनली डिवोटीज को फोन करके या उनके हाल चाल नहीं लेते, पर्सनल उनसे उनका कुछ पूछते नहीं है। तो कहीं ना कहीं हमारे अंदर भी वो चीज रह जाती है कि हम किससे अपने दिल की बात कहें, गुह्यम आख्याति। या फिर हमारे डिवोटीज हैं, साथ के हमारे डिवोटीज हैं, तो हम किस पे ट्रस्ट करके वो बात कह सकते हैं, सीनियर हैं उनसे बात करते हैं, या किस एक्सटेंट तक जो है, ये तो लाइफ टाइम ही है कि हम अब इस्कॉन से जुड़ गए हैं, तो लाइफ टाइम हम सिर्फ डिवोटी के साथ ही रहेंगे। तो कब तक जो है उनके साथ ऐसा संबंध बना के रखें, जो हमसे भी जुड़े हैं, वो भी हमें अपनी दिल की बात बता सकें, हम भी अपनी दिल की बात किसी को बता सकें। तो एक ना एक हमारे साथ ऐसा रहना चाहिए। तो मैं बहुत वीक हूँ कि सबको कॉल करके पूछूं। वो मेरे अंदर है नहीं, पर मुझे लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं मेरी ये वीकनेस है कि मैं सबसे इंटरेक्ट नहीं कर पाती अच्छे से। और
उसका ये है माता जी कि जो देखिए ये एक एक्सरसाइज है।
हम्म,
हम लोग सब भक्त हैं, अभी हम भक्त बनने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं ना। कोई हम लोग अभी हम परमहंस तो हो नहीं गए एज ए ग्रेट। जिस दिन परमहंस हो जाएंगे उस दिन तो हम फिर इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में रहेंगे नहीं ना। तो अभी तो हमारे अंदर वो अनर्था है। जिस दिन प्यूरिफिकेशन हो जाएगा तो इसी अदौ श्रद्धा साधु संग भजन क्रिया अनर्थ निवृत्ति निष्ठा आसक्ति निष्ठा रुचि आसक्ति भाव प्रेमा। सो एटलीस्ट आसक्ति और भाव की स्टेज पे पहुंच के हम जो है उस लेवल उसको हम समझ सकते हैं अभी इस मोमेंट पे। तो ये क्या होता है, टू फाइंड आउट द राइट पर्सन विद whom यू कैन ओपन अप योर हार्ट, इट्स अ एक्सरसाइज। इसमें हमारे को कई बार बैड एक्सपीरियंस भी होंगे, कई बार अच्छे एक्सपीरियंसेस भी होंगे। हम किसी को ट्रस्ट करके कोई बात बोलेंगे, फिर वो 10 लोगों को बोल देंगे, फिर हमको दुख भी होगा कि देखो हमने तो ट्रस्ट करके बताया, इन्होंने वो 10 लोगों को बता दिया। तो फिर उसके बाद यू कैन बी कॉशियस विद दैट पर्टिकुलर डिवोटी, बट दैट एक्सरसाइज कंटिन्यूज। बिकॉज देखिए, किसी को अपनी दिल की बात बताने के लिए हमारा नेचर एक जैसा होना चाहिए, हमारा स्वभाव एक जैसा होना चाहिए। पर हम लोग सब मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में, हम लोगों का स्वभाव सबका एक जैसा नहीं हो सकता है। और ये एक्सपेक्ट करना भी कि हर कोई मेरे जैसा हो जाए, वो भी एक एक इल्यूजन, माया का एक स्वरूप है कि मैं सब जो है वो मेरी तरह ही भक्त। जैसे मैं बता रहा था कि मुझे जपा पसंद है, तो जो मेरे साथ आएगा वो जपा ही करेगा, वो कुछ और नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि मेरे जपा पसंद है, उसको भी जप हो सकता है उसको कुछ और चीज पसंद हो। तो जरूरी नहीं है। तो आपका जवाब का, आपके प्रश्न का उत्तर यही है कि ये एक, इट्स नो स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड वे टू फाइंड अ पर्सन whom we can open up our heart. It's an exercise. We go through good things, bad thing in spiritual life also. ये भी जैसे हम लोगों ने बचपन से हम बड़े हुए, हमने अपने एक्सपीरियंस के साथ सीखा कि किसके साथ कैसे बिहेव करना है, किसके साथ कैसे, किससे बहुत पास जाना है, किससे थोड़ा सा एक डिस्टेंस, सेफ डिस्टेंस बना के रखना है, कि जिससे हमारा रिलेशन, क्योंकि डिवोटीज रिलेशनशिप की सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है कि हमारा रिलेशन नहीं खराब होना चाहिए किसी डिवोटी से। तो कई बार क्या होता है, हमारा थोड़ा बैड एक्सपीरियंस होता है, फिर हम सोचते हैं हाँ ये तो ऐसी है, सबको बताना ये ऐसे हैं, ऐसे हैं, ऐसे हैं। उससे चाहिए कि ठीक है, हम एक सेफ डिस्टेंस रख के उनके स्टिल लविंग रिलेशन रख सकते हैं, और लेकिन एक सेफ डिस्टेंस, लविंग डिस्टेंस बना के, जिससे कि हमारा रिलेशन चलता रहता है। क्योंकि कई बार क्या होता है, फैमिलियरिटी ब्रीड्स कॉन्टेम्प्ट। जब हम बहुत पास जाते हैं तो क्या होता है, हम एक दूसरे की कमियां देखना शुरू कर देते हैं। तो ये एक्सपीरियंस जो गुह्यम आख्याति प्रचिति जो है, ये थोड़ा सा एक ट्रिकी पार्ट है, और इसके लिए हमें थोड़ा सा एफर्ट लगाना पड़ता है कई बार अच्छे बुरे एक्सपीरियंस के साथ. One day we'll find somebody with whom we are able to open up our heart. And as far as this goes from our way to having the open up our heart to somebody and opening other person to open our heart, that also we should not expect everybody will come and open our heart. It is same reciprocation of other part. See, when we are thinking कि मैं किससे अपना दिल खोल के बात करूं, ऐसे ही दूसरा भी जो है वो भी एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा है. वो भी एक शुरू में हो सकता है, वो भक्ति की स्टार्टिंग में आने के बाद वो ट्रस्ट नहीं कर पा रहा है कि मैं किससे अपना दिल खोल के बात करूं. उसको भी थोड़ा सा बैड एक्सपीरियंस होगा, 10 जगह जाएगा वो, फिर उसको लगेगा कि अरे ये डिवोटी ने मेरे को देखो ऐसे बोल दिया वैसे बोल दिया. फिर इन दैट एक्सरसाइज आपको 1 या 2 बंदे ऐसे मिलेंगे जिसमें आप, तो अगर कोई आपसे आके नहीं अपना दिल खोल के बात कर रहा है तो उसके लिए हमें बुरा नहीं मानना चाहिए, क्योंकि मे बी हमारी नेचर उसको नहीं मैच हो पा रही है, फ्रीक्वेंसी नहीं मैच हो रही है, तो इसलिए वो हमसे आके नहीं कर पा रहा है. क्योंकि जैसे आप अगर मुझसे, जैसे मैं एग्जांपल, आप मुझसे कोई आप बात आके कर रहे हो, तो आपका जो पर्सपेक्टिव होगा वो आपके एक्सपीरियंस और आपकी जो भी पर्सनैलिटी है उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा. जो मेरा पर्सपेक्टिव होगा वो मेरे एक्सपीरियंस के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा. तो दोनों की फ्रीक्वेंसी मैच होना बहुत जरूरी होता है जब हम दिल खोलने की बात करते हैं. तो उसमें आंसर टू योर क्वेश्चन इज कि हमें ये नहीं एक्सपेक्ट करना चाहिए कि सब मैं जो है अब ये सब मेरे को आके दिल की बात क्यों नहीं कर रहे. वो भी एक्सपेक्ट मत करिए, और ये भी एक्सपेक्ट मत करिए कि हम सबसे जाके अपनी दिल की बात खोलेंगे और सब अपने रूप गोस्वामी के स्टैंडर्ड तक मैच करेंगे और दे विल कीप देयर. It's experience. With the experience, you will find the suitable. We should keep praying to Krishna. Ultimately, devotee's thing is, please give me somebody with whom I can open up my heart and who can guide me. So it happens that way. Mataji.
यस प्रभु जी, थैंक यू. और एक चीज और, जैसे कभी कभी होता है ना कि हम एक्सपेक्ट भी करते हैं, तो क्या ये एक्सपेक्ट करना ठीक है कि हमारे सीनियर्स हमसे पूछेंगे कि क्या मतलब कोई परेशानी?
भक्ति में हमें कोई एक्सपेक्टेशन होनी ही नहीं चाहिए. एक्चुअली मटेरियल लाइफ में भी नहीं होनी चाहिए अगर सुखी होना है तो. मटेरियल लाइफ हमारे रिलेशनशिप्स होते हैं ना, उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्यों होती है? क्योंकि हम एक्सपेक्ट बहुत करते हैं अपने रिलेशनशिप से, चाहे वो हस्बैंड वाइफ है, बच्चे हैं, फ्रेंड्स हैं, रिलेटिव्स हैं. अब वहां पे डिफरेंसेस क्यों आते हैं? क्योंकि हम एक्सपेक्ट बहुत करते हैं उनसे. मैंने बर्थडे पे विश किया, इसने मेरे को वापस बर्थडे पे मेरे नहीं विश किया, तो बस अब ये जो है इसको मैं अभी आज जो है मिल के सुनाता हूँ या सुनाती हूँ. तो वो यू यू जस्ट डू योर ड्यूटी. दैट्स व्हाट इज भगवत गीता प्रिंसिपल, नो माता जी, कि हमें अपना कर्म करना है और हमें फल की इच्छा नहीं करनी. हम किसी से रिलेशनशिप बना के हमने कुछ बर्थडे पे विश कर दिया है, कुछ गिफ्ट दे दिया है, कुछ दे दिया, अब उधर से नहीं आया तो ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए अरे देखो मैंने तो दिया, इन्होंने नहीं दिया. ठीक है, उनकी आउटलुक है. तो चाहे वो सीनियर हो, चाहे जूनियर हो, या पीयर लेवल हो, best would be that don't expect anything. Have this thing. If when we don't expect anything, no, then what happens is even little comes, it gives us so much pleasure. When we expect this thing and उससे अगर थोड़ा कम भी आएगा तो हमें लगेगा देखो दिया नहीं इन्होंने, या इन्होंने रेसिप्रोकेट नहीं किया. तो हमें सेल्फलेसली करते जाना चाहिए. कृष्णा इज सिटिंग एज परमात्मा मैसेज, ही विल गाइड अस, सो डोंट वरी.
थैंक यू सो मच प्रभु, वेरी प्रैक्टिकल एक्चुअली. तो मैं सोची आपसे शेयर कर लूं, थोड़ा सा पूछ लेती हूँ. मेरी गोयमा ख्याति यही थी कि इसको पूछ लो. थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण. प्रणाम.
Rekha Mataji, you want to ask again? I'm saying those who is getting late, please feel free to drop. I just thought anyway there are raised hands, so we'll take up those questions. If it's getting late, please feel free to drop out. Yeah, Shri Rekha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a wonderful lecture. And there were so many key takeaways for me personally. But the doubt I have is regarding, you said Sanat Kumaras were Brahmavadis. So what is the difference between Brahmavadi and a Mayavadi?
Oh, Brahmavadi and Mayavadi, these are just same terms which is used for, same impersonalist, with very slight difference it is there. So Brahmavadis is told for who believe that absolute truth is just a Brahma Jyoti. It is the effulgence. So they are Brahmavadis. So they believe that absolute truth is just a Brahman, a Brahma Jyoti, right? So they are called Brahmavadis. They are impersonalists. They don't, it's not that they don't believe in the form of the Lord, but they believe is the supreme is Brahma Jyoti. Ultimately, you have to go and merge into that Brahma Jyoti, which is the effulgence. So that is generally terms used for Brahmavadis. A little deviation of that is, which is in material context, is Mayavadis. They are also impersonalist, and they also believe that absolute truth has no form. And they believe that, this whatever forms like Lord Narayana or, other forms of the Lord, even Durga and Surya and all those Ganesha, they are just like the different form of the absolute truth. They come to this material world, and why word Mayavadi is specifically used is that when they come to this material world, including the Lord Narayana or Krishna, that they are under the influence of Maya, material energy. That's why they are called Mayavadi. So it is same thing only, but little bit deviation is there. That's all. Ultimately, they are impersonalists.
Okay, Prabhu. So, I mean, in case they were Brahmavadis, how come they went to Vaikunta? Because
They have
Vaikunta,
Narayana is also one of the form of absolute as per them. So they wanted to have. It's not that they don't believe Narayana is not there and this thing. They want to. They want to have darshan of Narayana, but they believe that Narayana is the one of the form of absolute truth.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Satyabhama Mataji, you have some question?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, for the overwhelming class. It was very nice to hear from you. Very beautiful, Prabhuji. Prabhu, I have a question that, Jai Vijay, when they were cursed, then they asked that we should not forget the Lord, even if we come to the material world. But when they came, Prabhu, then they were they able to remember the Lord, because we don't see Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Even if they were remembering in the bad way, they were considering Lord Vishnu as enemy. So that we cannot call this, we cannot consider that as remembering and not forgetting the Lord. So how can this point, Prabhuji?
To be honest, I don't know. What I feel is, this is just my opinion. I may be wrong also. That because they had asked that prayer to Sanat Kumaras, because they fell at the feet of Sanat Kumaras, and they asked that you please bless us that we don't forget the Lord. We see the same prayers which are being offered by various devotees, which are sanctioned by the Lord itself. Like Prahlad Maharaj, when he, after Hiranyakashipu is killed, Prahlad Maharaj says, give me always association of devotees and please engage me in your service. Dhruv Maharaj says, Vritasur says. So we see those examples, and those examples we see that they never forward the Lord. So in this case, yes, they unfavorably they thought about the Lord, but maybe that is, I'm just that maybe that's what Lord wanted them to remember the Lord unfavorably. If they are favorably thinking, then how will they participate in the Leela of the Lord and they will fight with the Lord? So to fight with the Lord also is required somebody who is empowered by the Lord. That's what I believe, Mataji. I don't know. Maybe we should ask some senior devotee on this. I'm not sure. But yes, this is my thought on this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Maybe because Lord wants to perform his Leela, then he wants some villain characters also for this. Yes.
Like I should be thinking that he is Supreme Lord, and then he will never see Mother Yashoda. Krishna has put her under Yog Maya. Because if Mother Yashoda will start thinking that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God, then how will she reciprocate? She will be always in reverence and always like Nanda Baba, Gopas, Gopis, they are thinking he is like us. He is my son. When Nanda Baba, Krishna is bringing the slippers on his head. And Nanda Baba is just getting, like a normal father. Like my child will do the same thing. I will feel, oh, my child is bringing my slipper. Like that Nanda Baba is thinking.